All right, everybody, welcome back to HiFly Radio. Last video I did, I was dimpling these reinforcement brackets, reinforcement plates for the trim tab cable mount bracket. So this goes into the elevator, essentially just like this on the inside. I got it Clecoed, and then this will go on top of that. And you have to dimple this, and you have to dimple this, and then this gets nut plates added to it, because once it's inside, you got these screws that are going to go in, and they screw into these nut plates. So you obviously don't have any kind of nut on the backside. So this will be on the outside of the skin, and you'll see essentially it'll sit flush like this once it's done. This is the right side. Sorry, so this goes over here to this guy. But yeah, I'll kind of show you guys this piece out here. It's just like a little quick kind of like, oh, what it is, where it goes kind of deal. So get in there. Yeah, there it goes. So this sits in here and gets riveted in, and then this panel, it's essentially a hatch that goes down over top of it. And then the mount bracket that I showed you in the last one for the trim cable comes out, and then it goes to the actual trim tab that's not on there yet. So, but what I wanted to show you guys was the process. So somebody mentioned something on the forum that I talked about in the last video with these OOPS rivets, and it doesn't say to install these nut plates yet because I'm about to disassemble everything and start doing final prep for final assembly. But there's nothing it's going to affect if I don't go ahead and do it. So I will have to dimple the center hole, because you can see this. There's a big and then two small, which is what accommodates the nut plates. So the way Vans has you do it is they have you dimple the two little mount holes with the same type of rivet, which is like a 330. It's a 3-3.5 rivet. So you use the same dimple, which essentially is going to be on the skins for these. But you would also have to dimple these nut plates, and there's nothing to them. So I still have to dimple the center to match these number 6 dimpled screw holes. And you can kind of see that the nut plate is also recessed. But what somebody had mentioned is using these OOPS rivets to do nut plates, and it's genius because instead of dimpling the skin, all I have to do, because these have such a tiny head on them, is I set my countersink to this, and then I just go around and countersink, and it doesn't take, I mean, you can kind of see it. I mean, it's just a little, you could probably do it with a drill bit in your hand, but when you drop one of these rivets in there, it sits super flush, probably better than a normal rivet does because they have such a small head. And now I can rivet these on without having to dimple the little screw holes versus just the, all 3 of them. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to dimple these inner screw holes, which I already did on this bracket right here. So you can kind of see that these are dimpled, and that the dimple die will sit, now it sits flush on the skin, if you guys can see that. Sorry, I got the camera on my head. And it does deform the skin a little bit, and I have a really precise dimple machine that really does really good dimples, and it's still, just a little bit. But when you rivet these things in, they're going to sit flush and everything, so nothing crazy. So that is what I am doing. I'm going to go ahead and finish countersinking these, and then I'll take it over. You know what? I'll go ahead and dimple it. You know what? I'm trying to keep this video short so I can make it real. So let's see what we're at. Uh-oh, getting a phone call. So I've got to let you guys go. Cheers.